So us kids didn't have to go out. I didn't have to go out and get some meaningless job at Walmart or McDonald's and, work a 9 to 5 little, cog in the machine type of job and then, make $20,000 a year or whatever. And then, work on my college education in between then,
Yeah.
That will make people mad. You know what he just said? Oh, are you belittling people that work at Walmart?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
exactly.
not.
But
absolutely not.
That's what we instilled into our children. You know what I mean? And you know what? I
can do better than
I had all the menial jobs.
Right.
I mean, that's
Me
how I
too.
started.
Yeah, I've done them. I've done them too when I was a
That's what we
kid.
did.
Yeah. So, and part of really what's wrong with America is legacy in this sense. We changed our paradigm on absolutely everything, even when it comes to finances. And, we're doing something that's called private family banking and, capturing our family dollars as a family for the legacy. So when we went about we're going to purchase dirt, right? So we bought our homestead on 5.5 acres. And then 3 to 4 years later, we call it a ranch. It's 25 acres.
Ranchette.
Yeah, in Texas, that's a joke, But for us Northerners, that's a ranch, We bought our ranch, and then when more property came available, this was the legacy. This is the inheritance that you give to your children in real time.
Yep.
Right.
To experience with them.
Not
and
later
help
down
them,
the road.
Yeah, and help them build the future with them.
Right. Now, are you teaching your family about honest money and how the dollar keeps losing value?
Yeah.
And, if you had bought gold back in 1971 instead of holding dollars, it would have held its value.
Yeah.
You have conversations about that?
Correct.
Yeah, we're very familiar with the devil from Jekyll Island. And all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's critical because to actually have assets that last from generation to generation, it can't be in fiat currency.
Correct. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it can be in land.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can be in gold.
Yeah.
Maybe some other assets as well, but not in fiat currency. Fiat
Correct.
currency is just to use temporarily,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
just to get what you need.
Yeah.
There were storms that swept through Austin and Central Texas last night, and so we lost electricity in our area, and and I've talked about this publicly, but you'll appreciate this. So I just pull around my tractor that has like 110 horsepower PTO, and I have a PTO generator.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's a
It's a
thing.
50 kilowatt PTO generator.
Oh, that is substantial. Yeah.
So, but these generators don't cost that much because they don't have their own engines, right? It's just the coils and
Wow.
And so you have to crank up the PTO RPMs to the right speed. It's like 4,200 or whatever it is, and then I have a transfer switch, and I throw the transfer switch, and all the lights come back on, right? And then my neighbors are like, "How are your lights on?" I'm like, "We thought the whole neighborhood was down." Well, the neighborhood is down, actually. But if you need to charge something, come on over. I'm burning diesel and making electricity. So you're welcome to come over. But this idea of being able to actually make your own electricity, it seems to be so foreign to everybody. I mean, some people have solar, but those are all grid tie systems.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't work off grid.
Yeah.
And they don't work off grid at night when it's raining.
Right.
Anyway,
Correct. Exactly.
There's no sun.
Exactly.
You got to burn diesel.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's true.
But I mean,
pretty cool.
living in the country has taught me a lot. I know it's taught you a lot. And now you're teaching a lot of other people the exact same skills.
Yeah.
And, God bless you for what you're doing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
It has been a blessing to us. We are realizing and living a dream. And if we weren't as plugged into the news and everything that was going on, we could very much live a fairy tale.
Yep.
In the sense that we go to our property, we're there, we tend to our animals. I have what I affectionately refer to as my food 401k. I have about 400 fruit trees and a
That's what he
greenhouse.
invested in.
And
That makes sense, yeah.
I do all that stuff, and I can get so just focused on that and focused on what the kids are doing. And we just have such a great time. And if we wanted to cloister, and just push everybody
absolutely.
out and ignore everything, we could absolutely do that.
Yep.
But you're not trying to. You're
No, we're not. We're not
You're talking
called-
to people.
Yeah, we're not
Absolutely.
called to do that,
Right.
you know,
Right, right.
And that's what, and I think that's really important because there are people that are, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you an anecdotal story. When we first moved here, we met a single fella, an older fella, on like some kind of prepper website, and he invited us out to Sunset, Texas, right? Yeah, he invited us out to Sunset, Texas, and this was during the well, so we went out once and visited. And then we had the Ebola scare.
Yes.
And he called me and he said, y'all have to come out here and, bring everything, and we're closing the gate and we're staying.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Really?
this
He was
guy
set up.
He was prepped.
had
Like-
multiple hospital generators, and it was just one guy. And he was ready for whatever. But, if we would have done that,
Right.
I think about all that we would have missed out on.
Because he wanted to give us land. He saw a young family, so he wanted to this would be great. This young family can raise up these boys and they could do things here on the farm. I'll just give them some land and this will be, an incentive for him, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, I'm very thankful we didn't take that opportunity because we would have missed many more opportunities. I mean, we think of all these different crises we've had in American culture since the 70s. And what if every single time, well, we're getting in the bunker, we're welding the door shut, you know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't work like that. I mean, I know people have done it, but what have they missed out on?
Right. Well, like you said, you were saying to your neighbors, sure, I do have power. Come on over if you need anything. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right. If you need to charge your satellite phone, or your
Absolutely.
flashlights, or
Right.
whatever,
Yes.
if you need, because I have satellite internet, and with the power, satellite internet's working, so
Yeah,
people can
yeah.
get on. But let me ask you a question, Matt. And maybe to you, TD, too, also, but how do you balance this? Because on one hand, you may have an increasingly thriving business.
Yeah.
You have an increasingly thriving YouTube channel. And there's a revenue model tied to that. But at the same time, the reason that channel works is because you are living this genuine lifestyle, which means you got to go clean out the chicken house. You got to go, pick the fruit, weed the garden. You got to go
Prune the trees.
Right.
Yep.
All the things that are necessary. And it can become, there's a spectrum where you might one day say to yourself, well, I don't need to prune those trees. I just need to make more videos. I'll hire somebody to prune those trees. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you make sure that you continue to lead an authentic lifestyle?
Well, he has 3 younger siblings. So he has a little bit, he can buy himself some time there. I think with that, they can go and they can be the ones to clean the chicken coop, and they can be the ones to, gather the eggs and learn from daddy how to prune the trees and everything like that. But I don't know. I don't want to steal your answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, and fortunately and unfortunately, the revenue's not there.
No, it's not.
where-
It's not. Well, here's the deal. Here's the real thing. It was there. It was there about
It was there.
For 2 months.
3
for
months.
3 months, and we were grabbing 30,000 subscribers a month or more, and selling all of our products like gangbusters, and it was absolutely
wild,
incredible.
yeah.
And then YouTube would put a kink in everything,
Oh,
and it went boom, first strike.
shadow band.
Yeah.
Yep.
all that,
First
yeah.
strike,
Right.
we went ahead and we had a 1 week break. Well, no, first strike was just the first strike, and then they're like, "This is a warning." Then another week goes by or so. We're like, "Dude, we went from daily videos to I'm gonna make 2 videos a day." So we're making 2 videos a day, and anyway, so then we were like, I just had it. So that the other boys would go out and do all the chores and everything, and I was just like head of the content, right? If Dad would get home, we
Right.
would eat something real quick, we would sit down, make
Right.
2 videos, I'd be like editing flat out, and then we started doing that, and then we got hit for like medical misinformation and
Several
voter
voter
deniers or whatever.
Yes,
So we've gotten 5 strikes now on YouTube.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could
But-
get 5 strikes.
Well, they fall off and then
They-
you get more.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
so they fall off.
No,
So
they won't let me on for years.
we just got another strike, and
Right.
we just got off
just got off
yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, for what?
Got medical misinformation.
Medical misinformation.
I think it had something to do with home remedies and prayer.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You don't invoke prayer on
Yeah,
YouTube.
no, that would be
Yeah.
terrible.
So,
it's going to confuse him.
What I was trying to say is the revenue was coming in, and I was thinking about, well, my real thing is I'm an outside type of guy. I don't, I like the tech and stuff, but I'm like, I'll pay for somebody to do that. I love the hard work and sweating and working hard. I don't, I want to do mostly all of that stuff. Certain things I might have hired out if I had the money to do so. So that's what I was planning on doing, and then YouTube shut that all down. So.
Well, see, this is why I started Brighteon.
Yeah.
And this is why you can get all your channel going on Brighteon and all your videos posted there. You'll never be censored. You'll never be shadow banned.
That'd be awesome.
And this is what's happening. People are finding out YouTube's not a reliable place long term.
Absolutely not.
But there's BitChute, there's Rumble, there's Brighteon and Odysee and a bunch of others and other social media sites. But where it's all going is Web 3.0, which is a decentralized structure where there are no central hosting companies that can even determine anymore. Like 5 to 10 years down the road, if Web 3 really takes off, and we're helping to build it. We're a big part of it. Yeah, I'm launching a new show on that whole topic.
Is that IPFS or?
Oh, IPFS is one example of a Web3 technology, but it's all about peer-to-peer decentralization, including content publishing.
Oh, wow.
So your content would go out across peer-to-peer networks. Chordal is one of those, right? And there's nobody that can censor it, not even the builders of the system. They can't censor it, right?
Dude,
so
that's awesome.
The future is uncensorable content, and the shift is underway to that right now. It's going to take a few years,
Of course.
but as long as you keep doing content, you stay authentic in what you're doing.
Yep.
The technology world is changing, and people are tired of having YouTube or Twitter tell them what they can't do.
Self-censoring too.
It's so hard to make content because, we'll try to do a live stream and you're like, okay, well.
Can't say that.
Yeah.
Can you,
say
can
that.
you,
Oh,
can
and
you say that we were sick last week? I don't
know.
know. Can you
I know.
say that the
So
kids?
then you have to
okay, we won't
spell
say
it
that.
out, use code language like Mr. Nah is, and it's just, it's so much, it's really sad,
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
sad.
And you try to learn to self-censor all the different words, but then they tell you more stuff like,
But it will never end.
It'll never-
Yeah.
Well, and they just added onto
changes.
YouTube, you can't use certain Bible verses now. You
Yeah.
can't post
Yeah.
certain Bible verses.
Oh, and that's going to
on the screen.
expand. It's
Yep.
going to be.
Oh, it's going
at
to be.
some point every Bible verse.
yeah.
Yep.
Or even to use the word woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
motherhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a birthing person.
Right.
Did you know you were a birthing person? Yeah.
Don't you feel special?
Yeah. And you could be a birthing person.
I know. Yeah, isn't it great?
According to the culture.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to.
But anyway, the world is changing rapidly. But what I love about what you're doing is that you're adapting to it. But you're holding the line on your values, what you believe in,
Right.
which again may be different from what other people choose
Sure,
in their
1,000,000%.
lives. Right.
Yes.
But you're
Yep.
holding your line
Correct.
and saying this is what we believe family means.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
And that's honorable.
Yeah, and there used to be a time in our country where we could disagree, and
Yeah.
look, this is our values, this is what we hold to, and look, I see great abundance and fruit from that, and I am greatly blessed by that. And maybe the person that I'm talking to holds a different set of values. In my opinion, I think they see the blessing that I'm experiencing too. And that's part of the influence of maybe he's right. Maybe I am off kilter or out of center. Maybe my values, maybe I have lost my way, and maybe I should consider what he's saying. So that's why I think it's really important for us to press forward. And as I've hated, you can ask Matt, I've hated YouTube from the beginning.
Yeah.
Both of us hate YouTube.
We hate YouTube.
We say it on our videos. We absolutely despise it.
But I refuse to leave, you know?
Yeah.
To me, it's, you know, and maybe eventually they'll vaporize
We won't
us.
have a
They
choice.
probably will.
They probably will.
Sadly.
And you have a channel too?
Yep.
Yes, I have a channel.
Your own
too.
channel?
Yes.
Yep.
The
Then we have a
Tex-
backup
What's it
channel.
called?
The Texas Girls.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, so
Makes
I,
sense.
yeah.
brand, yeah.
So I started that for me and my daughter, and then we can cover like all the girl stuff, you know,
Feminine
from
side.
the woman's perspective of
Right.
the homestead. And she has some little silky chickens that are like, you know, real highfalutin silky chickens. So that's going to be her little business, maybe, you know, when she gets a little older. She's 6, so she has time to grow with it. But, you know, for us, we want the kids to be very entrepreneurial minded, and we just think that it just builds such self-esteem and character, and, you know, so for her too, we want her to, you know, actually the family that we're coming down to visit, they have a daughter, and she runs cattle, and she has a flower business and sells cut flowers to all different stores in Austin, and very entrepreneurial minded young lady.
These are great skills
Yes. Yeah.
for young folks to pick up, is how to do business basics.
Yes.
100%.
How to do fulfillment or some simple manufacturing, how to understand accounting, a customer service.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
These are skill sets that can lead to a lifetime
Yes.
of self-reliance.
Yeah.
You don't have to go work at Walmart.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if she becomes a mother or wife, this one young lady, you know, like she's going to have all those organizational skills that she used to run her family's business, and they have a beef business too and everything. And then she'll be able to take all them and say, okay, now I can manage my pantry really well, and I can run all the meals for the house, and I can homeschool the children and do, I mean, it takes a lot of juggling.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I would, first of all, I greatly appreciate you all coming in and sharing this and allowing me to ask kind of intimate questions about your family and your goals.
Yeah.
And I'd like to send you back home with a pretty good assortment of some of our products.
Great.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
And you can enjoy those different tinctures and different food and
Yeah.
things like that. You can play with those, and just tell you you're welcome here anytime. So if you come back
Great.
into this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, and you brought me a tree.
I brought you a world's best. So I have about 140 or 50 different variety of fig trees, and then I started collecting mulberry trees.
Really?
So now I have
I
about
didn't know there were that many types of things.
there's about 2,000. I don't think I'll get there, but
Wow.
You can always
I
dream.
have fig trees that produce, and
Great.
I love them.
yeah.
But it's all the same kind.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's boring.
That's okay.
But so I brought you a world's best. So that's a dwarf. It's an everbearing. It's excellent, very large fruit. Great animal fodder.
Really?
Yeah,
the
but
reason I
brought
got
you
into the mulberry was for tree hay, for animal fodder.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So if I can find something that's more bushy and prolific, and you just growing a food hedge, you know, for the cows. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of chickens, and I'm sure they'll enjoy the
they love it,
mulberries.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been a scientific study on mulberry leaves that they're incredibly high in quercetin, and you can eat them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Well, very cool. So we'll go trade stuff out there, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
like,
great.
it's
Now we
like a
got some
Texas
coffee
barter.
and honey.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I've got some good stuff for you, and we'll just keep in touch and
Great.
maybe keep bartering. But
Yeah.
I just want to say thank all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, if this is something that you're interested in doing, I mean, this kind of lifestyle, you can make it work. Again, you are living proof. From the Northeast, came to Texas with nothing and started homesteading, raising kids, raising a healthy family, and learning skills and growing your own food. How much of your own food are you growing right now, if you could estimate percentage-wise?
Well,
Quite a bit now.
Well, now we relatively went carnivore.
Full on carnivore.
So
For the last,
since we have
All meat? I mean, you don't.
pretty much.
almost
Really?
exclusively,
Pretty much.
you know, now
99%.
we do have a gardener.
Yes, we do.
have a garden. We're using the Mittlighter method, and the
Yeah.
garden's going well.
Yeah.
But as far as like our main base of our meals
Right.
is
Meat.
Beef,
our own
beef
meat.
and pork,
Yeah,
and eggs.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah,
of
a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah.
incredibly sustainable. And we can get an inordinate amount of our calories that way. So
Sure.
if we stay this path that we're on, we're about 90% sustainable.
90%. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Well, yeah, because what really happened too was only 3 weeks ago, we found out that our local grocery store, Brookshire's, went woke. And
Yeah.
that was kind of the straw that broke the
Really?
camel's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah, they're full DEI.
yep, because we stopped buying from Walmart. And then we're like, well, at least we got Brookshire's, you know, we're supporting
Yeah.
this family company,
Yeah.
preppers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we learned that they got this
D-
DEI.
Yeah.
DEI policy
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Brookshire's.
And then we're like,
and we love Brookshire's.
never mind.
We love
we're
all the
going,
people there.
We're going to go
Yeah.
carnivore / you know, eat whatever we
Aldi. I
grow,
started looking
you
them
know.
up and all the different ones. Now there's Azure Standard we could get fruit from and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, so
but we have we have fruit orchards.
Yeah.
so we're
Orchard.
like,
Yeah, so we're not.
You eat figs, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we love, you know, whether you want to call it a nutrivore, but, you know, our goal is to eat meat, and when the fruit's in season
Sure.
to eat it, and when there's an excess of fruit,
Right.
we'll can it and
Can it.
preserve it.
Right.
But that's kind of our strategy.
Yeah,
Same
and when
thing with
there's
veggies.
vegetables in the garden, we'll eat them, and then when
Right.
there's not, that's fine.
There's not,
You know,
yeah.
so
You got to have onions with your meat.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to have
Yeah.
onions.
yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of onions planted.
Yes,
Yeah,
And you got to have potatoes.
yeah, we have lots of. We have
Well,
lots of.
that's not carnivore, but we do
It's
have
not
lots
carnivore,
of we
but
do
we
have
do have
lots
them
of
planted.
potatoes
Yep.
planted.
Meat
yes.
and potatoes and onions. I mean,
Yes,
come on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all
good.
We have a field of sweet potatoes
Oh, do
planted.
you?
right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, which is
We're
kind
sweet
of
potato
funny.
Yeah, we're in sweet potato country. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't sell any meat products here, so you're going to get all like high nutrition fruits and veggies and superfoods. and
that's
Great.
stuff.
That's
cool.
very
So
good.
it'll be a
That's
good
cool.
There you go.
complementary
Yeah,
to
that's
what you
excellent.
have.
That
There
will
you go.
be.
That's
yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Super cool.
All right, awesome. Well, let me just say thank you to all of you who have been watching. I hope you found this intriguing. If you want to check out their channel on YouTube, if it's not banned yet, it's called The Texas Boys, and that's also their website, TheTexasBoys.com, and the Texas Girls now too,
Yeah.
is yours.
And we're on Rumble too.
And you're on Rumble. Okay, got it.
Yep.
And are you on Brighteon yet? You got to get on
Now,
there.
yeah, he set up the account.
set up
so
the
we just
account.
have to start
Okay, great.
uploading. Yep.
Start uploading.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll tell my admins to ban you every time you mention
There you go.
Bible verses. No, no, that's a YouTube policy. Okay, all right. We'll give you extra stars when you mention Bible verses. How about that? All right. But thank you all for watching. I'm Mike Adams here, the founder of Brighteon.com, also in Central Texas, living on a ranch, and sharing a lot of the same things that you share in terms of self-reliance. But I don't eat as much meat, but that's okay. To each his own. But thank you for watching. Again, God bless you all. God bless America. Take care, everybody.
See y'all.